Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfiotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. As Sigmund and Sinfiotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live.
Imagine a sword that can slay gods. Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard.
Go to the shards.
What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you.
Find them.
The runes.
You need that sword.
Go to the shard.
Find the shards. find
Find
it.
it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see?
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place.
Where are we?
Where is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
Dead in the air. You can feel the dead. Why would he bring a halo? It's not simple. Why would he do something so dangerous? Never risk her life.
Senua, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Herver, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword Tyrving.
Don't go in there.
Go in. You have to go in.
Take the torch.
It's too dark. Take it. This will help you.
Careful.
You have to be able to see.
Who's there? Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember? I'll find him.
What was that? Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices?
Is that his voice or the voice of the dead?
Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you
Where is
hear him?
he? Where is he?
He sounds like he's getting further away.
Have you lost him?
You're going the wrong way.
Are you lost and have you lost him?
Where are you? Turn left.
Turn right.
Over this way.
What was that?
This way. Follow this way.
Herver disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist.
It's too scary.
The flames I passed through were real enough. Damn the Northmen to hell.
I can hear him.
Within the burial mound, Herver calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his sword. She says that it is not seemly for the dead in their grave mounds to bear valuable weapons. Her father answers with words of warning. You go to your doom. Baleful runes surround you. You have gone mad. You have lost your mind. Your thoughts are confused. It is dangerous to wake the dead. Like I said, she reminds me of you.
He's going to save you. Find the voice. Find him. Find another way. It's not working.
You have to use your mind. Where can you go?
You're failing. Find another way.
Think.
Focus.
Use your mind.
Where's he gone? He's disappeared. You let him slip through your fingers once again.
Think clearly. You have to find another way. There
another
has to be
way.
another way.
It's not him. It's not him.
We told you. We told you it was a trick.
That voice doesn't sound like Dylan.
What's happening?
Quiet.
It's not him.
He wants me to find him. I'm lost without him.
That's not him.
That doesn't sound like Dylan. What's in there?
What is it?
A secret room.
Yes.
How do you get in there?
How does she get in here?
Maybe you can.
There's no way.
Find a way.
That voice. It's not Dillian.
Don't stop now. Don't give me no. Find a way.
You're too close to stop.
What's in there?
Dillian wants me to face my fears. Father? I'm leaving. I've decided. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through
No,
you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. In my own way.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I met a boy.
Boy,
The chief said so.
no.
He said he could help me.
It's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal?
Yes.
No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you,
No.
they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand. You're going nowhere.
No.
You will not defy the gods. Come, child, take my hand. Come. Senua.
I am leaving.
You cannot escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
It's done. You did it, but there's more. There's more. I'm tired, but you have to keep going. There's still more. There's always more to do. It's not going to be easy. Can you do another one? It's too much. Have you got the energy? She hasn't got the energy. No. Too much to do.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin, he was beautiful, good, and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
Bridge. You've come this far, but the bridge is broken.
There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Senua?
Face.
What is it? What does it see? Get closer. Mask sees.
Stay back, don't
Touch it.
You're curious.
Where are we? What is this? It's the same. It's another world. It's lighter.
It's nicer. I like it here. Can we stay? Let's stay here. I like the way it feels. It's safe here.
The bridge.
It's not broken.
It's fixed.
What happened?
The bridge is fixed.
Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beast, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one,
He loves you.
they each make the vow. Neither weapons nor wood
Dillian, we're here.
Balder's
Dillian,
mother boasts.
we're nearly here.
Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
The gate is open. Go through the gate.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe.
Dillion.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through.
Before he disappears.
Dillion, don't lose him.
Let him slip away too many times.
You always let him disappear.
Dillion, there he is.
Quick.
Where is he?
Your curse.
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
the dark.
The dark
He
world.
was the only one that didn't mind the curse. He loved her so much. Does it feel warm? Do you feel safe?
Dillion loves you.
He's the reason she's alive at all.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light.
She was strong.
Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of color stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
Whatever they do, the gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him
He's
safe?
the reason she keeps fighting.
I did not ask the mistletoe, Baldur's mother confesses. I thought it was too young.
Dillion saved her.
Oh dear.
You owe your life to Dillion.
You owe everything to him. Senua, you've got it.
Why isn't he here? You can't go up
You
there.
can't go up
Not
there.
in this world.
No, not in this world.
Do you remember him whispering in your ear?
We spend our lives searching for the meaning in life, and we ask the gods for guidance. But the truth to life is revealed when we can face death without fear. How can the gods understand us if they refuse to die themselves?
Dillion's in the tower.
He's there. You are guilty.
Was it worth it?
There he is.
Where are you taking
He's
us?
up there. He's up there. Is it worth it? You're still alive. There's a way. There is a way up there. She can do it. You're nearly there. She can find the way.
You kill the things you love with your curse.
You kill the things that are most
Loki
precious
makes
to
a
you.
dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies,
Why didn't she
here is a
listen?
wand.
She thought
I will
she
tell
could
you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain. The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship
Years
into
had
the sea.
passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior.
She's pure darkness.
Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
Curse.
And now the darkness is swallowing you both. Look what happens to the things you love.
You broke him. You killed him.
You couldn't see the dark. Have no time for this. Speed up.
These rooms mean nothing. It's part of their game.
They've set your trials to distract you.
They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you fall.
What if these trials mean nothing?
It's laughing at you.
What if they take you no closer to the chance of love?
Dillian, you're letting this get in the way.
What if they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle? Dillian's in the tower.
He's there.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hel and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they found in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
Remember, Dillion? What do you remember? Do you remember the sound of his voice?
What if they're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute? What does she think she's doing? You're not special. She thinks she can ruin you.
They mean nothing.
She's special.
The curse can die. The gods are just... What if the gods are laughing at her?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be
be the first time. Dillion doesn't know who killed him, but we do. Curse strangling you just like it strangled him. He led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Why didn't you listen to him?
This love has tortured you, and it tortures them.
Was it worth it?
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work?
You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
Everywhere.
But what if they're not real?
What if they don't actually make sense?
If they're a trick?
The gods were lying.
If you think it makes sense, but really the gods are playing with you.
It makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't make sense in the real world.
The gods are linked, but it doesn't mean anything.
You can't read this language, you don't understand
Sinbel
it.
was right.
You're wasting time.
You're cursed to never succeed.
So
Quicker!
Dillion!
there he is.
Dillion never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Sinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see,
Very careful.
and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillion's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. And slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Be quick. Be quick. Be careful. Don't look down. Breathe. Where's he gone? It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to the... Just gone to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay?
What if you're wrong? What if this has nothing to do with the sword? What if we're wrong? The sword will never work.
The gift that makes you so special in life.
What if this is the end? It's just a trick.
Person I know.
It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before, you could be fooled again. You're being tested. You don't know. It's just their game for you. You never know which way it's going to go.
Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.